Hey guys, welcome to our first video. I wanted to record this process just because I thought it would be really awesome and helpful people along the way trying to do a similar process and maybe learn some cool techniques on texture and translucency from the processes that I do. So the first step is trying to get some rigidity along with the materials that we're using. Most of this stuff I just have around the house. I'm using tinfoil here, but I also did some with some Saran wrap as well. And then I also did one with just pure latex, so I'll show you later. For my supplies, I'm using a foam brush, a bowl for the latex, and Podge, some green glowing fluorescent micas, some alcohol inks, some tissue paper, and also you'll see the latex that I use. I think it's actually very important to my process. This is actually different than most latexes because this one is clear. The method that I'm using is pretty much just paper mache, right? So I'm painting on a layer of the liquid latex onto whether it's the balloon or I'm using a plastic Easter egg as a base wrapped underneath the tin foil. And you see that it doesn't cover every bit because of the texture. It's going to leave some parts empty. It's going to leave some parts covered. So when we lay down the tissue paper, it's going to leave a really, really cool effect. And when you put this over the tin foil and say you're able to get a thin layer of tissue paper where it's not doubled up, it will still shine and give you some translucency through the latex, which I think adds almost like a wet look to my design. This part takes patience, and know that if something rips, you can always fix it later on, but almost always if you see the tissue paper is getting pulled while you're laying it down, the answer is just dip your brush into more latex. Keep it super wet, and it doesn't seem to pull it. You can just kind of glide it over and smooth it out. You can wait a little bit to let it dry in between this coat, but the next step is going to be actually adding more structure and actual color and glow to our layer on the eggs. So I'm putting in some glue that's going to help stiffen up my latex and give it more rigidity. Say, for example, when I take them off the eggs, they can stand up on its own. And I just brush it on lightly, and it helps glue down and put a skin over the work that we just did. Hey, I just wanted to point out, I've been reusing the same bowl and brush this entire time. As long as it's still wet and the stuff hasn't hardened, you can keep using and keep pouring on top of it till you're done. It's at this step you could actually stop because the eggs do look pretty cool from here, but I do a little bit more work on mine. You'll hear me time and time again say structure here. When you're making something out of nothing, it's kind of important. I'm going to add Mod Podge and I'm going to brush it on in 3 different colors, 3 layers. I'm going to start with a yellow layer with a mica that's fluorescent on top. And then I'm going to add some orange that will put some speckles in the center. And then down at the very bottom, I'm going to go into a green just to match the green color that we started with. I add some alcohol ink into that mica color as well, just to make it a little bit richer, deeper, and more opaque. So this part's not necessary, but super fun to do. I'm adding some green glitter here just to add some reflection. I'm using it for a photo prop, and it's going to shine off the light. It's going to add some more texture, some more color, and help make it look more organic. Here you can see everything's really coming along. I'm going to do one more step of latex. I'm going to make it a darker green because these things are a little bit bright for my taste. I'm adding in some alcohol inks, and then I'm going to add in some alcohol inks of black as well, just to deepen up that green. I started out doing epoxy and then took special effects classes, so I kind of figured out these cool things on my own, and I wanted to share them. And just like before, we're going to just brush this over everything to give it a nice finish. Nice colors, layers, textures, and translucencies. You should be able to pop your balloons and pieces together now, and they'll be a great finished product. I'm going to do a little bit more work on mine. Let me know if you would want some information on that. I can film it as well. For my needs, I'm using these as a photo backdrop. I'm actually going to line them inside with some plaster so they can definitely withstand the wear and tear that that's going to endure. You can also see the ones that have like the tin foil shining through, but if you leave parts of it clear, you should also be able to have windows and light shining through these as well. So all in all, as a collection, these eggs are going to make a pretty cool display. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? Thanks again.